Kia ora, bros and girls. We've taken a month off, but we are back for Enter the Cabal Day 1, Uncollected, Act 1, Chapter 1. Let's see how we go. By the way, I did actually 100% Uncollected last month. It's just been really busy. Haven't uploaded a lot of videos, but I will do. I'll upload some cool stuff. I one-shot Ghost last month with Star-Lord a few times. I'll put a video of that up at some point, and had a decent symbiote fight, one-shot crossbones, but that's not really that hard to do. So yeah, it had some pretty good runs there. I'll see if I can do like a highlight reel, or I might just put the videos anyway. It's probably less useful now that everyone's completed the quest, but once I get time, I'll check them back on. I still like the one-shot of Ghost because, it's always nice to see that. So let's have a look around here. We've got 3 paths. One's explosive personality. That's probably going to be the hardest path. This one gives us additional damage from mutants, and this one is the simplest path. So probably you want to go down the Hawkeye one if you want the easiest one, but I will probably just do the hardest one first on camera. One, to get out of the way, and 2, because I've kind of finally figured out this node, so it's actually not as hard as I think or thought it was. So explosive personality is the node. Basically, every time you hit into a block, the champ gets an armor up, and once it got 5, it explodes in your face. Boom, 25% damage. Boom, gone. 25% of your health. So with my style, I used to always kind of like just attack, and sometimes you get onto a block, and I never really read the node. I never really figured out that if you do that, it's just going to come back in your face, and so I used to get my ass handed to me all the time in this node. So the key to this is to play it pretty much like a stun immune node. So you can parry them, like they're not stun immune, so you can parry them, and as soon as they're open, you can jump in there and do the combo. And if you hit them or intercept them, or hit them after a special, or hit them after a heavy, or hit them after a parry, or hit them when they're open, they don't build up those charges, so they're never going to actually explode in your face. But if you accidentally hit into one of their blocks, they do, and the more mistakes you make, the bigger damage you lose. So there you go. So interesting. We got Infinity War, Iron Man, and Captain America talking some trash here. I don't know if the story relates to anything, but the first time through, I kind of like to read them. So we've got a Rocket Raccoon. Now, I've noticed, obviously, my account has progressed over the past, 3-4 months when I first started doing Uncollected, and now we've ranked up a whole lot of champs. I got some pretty decent pulls, awakened a few really cool champs, and things have gotten a little bit easier. So I will tell you that Uncollected, with this lineup, which is basically a couple of rank 4 champs and a couple of rank 4 5-stars and a couple of rank 5 4-stars, maxed 4-stars, you tend to kind of roll through Act 1, right? It becomes kind of pretty easy. Act 2, you generally will only struggle on the boss. You'll struggle a little bit, but if you can figure out how to do the bosses, then you don't need to do a lot of spending. And look, Act 3 is always going to be difficult for no matter what kind of roster you have, because of the nodes, and because the final boss is so boosted up, and because it's normally always like a new champ. You don't really know their moveset, you don't really understand them, you don't really know how to evade their specials, you don't really know what to do, and so it's a bit of a learning process. But with this roster, if you are struggling with Uncollected, or if you've just become Uncollected and you're looking at this video and going like, oh man, why is it so easy for him, why is it so hard for me? If you're running into this with rank 4 4-stars, it is going to be hard, and you're going to have to be on your game. If you're coming in with maxed 4-stars, then it becomes a little bit easier. And as you get into rank 4 and rank 5 5-stars, which of course you need to either grind that 4 or do Alliance to get Alliance Quest and Alliance War to get the class catalyst so you can rank up your champs, or finish Act 4 and get some Tier 2 Alpha catalyst so you can rank for one of your 5 stars and actually get a good 5 star to rank for. But having those will make your life a heck of a lot easier. So I'm fighting here with an R4 Ghost Rider against the Scorvus Glaive, and you can see like I'm getting my ass handed to me. Now, admittedly, I should be able to just kind of like get in there if I'm really careful. And yep, that's what I want. I want to hit the lifesteal and start just regenerating a little bit, because he had me on the back and out. I might be able to actually finish him off here. But yeah, you have to play with a lot more skill if you're running 4-star rank 4s. I think probably good players, I mean, depends on your level of good, but for most players, if you're pretty good, you could probably go in here with rank 4 stars. Or if you're really good, if you're like Seaton good or Analyzer good, then or Brian good, then you might be able to come in here with just max 3 stars. But the reality is, for most of us, we probably want just max 4 stars or max 5 to kind of get through without too much trouble. So I've been ranting a little bit, but yeah, I mean, the explosive line, as you can see, is not really too hard, so long as you don't hit into a block. One more Thor, one more explosive personality. And let's see, I always like to see who the boss is. The bosses, depending on who they are and what their nodes are, can be quite annoying. Last month wasn't too bad. I mean, the crossbones was really easy. The yellow jacket, after a little bit of practice, I mean, he was annoying, but he wasn't impossible. After a bit of practice, I got him down. I actually found Ghost the easiest, apart from crossbones last month. I found the stun immune Adaptoid was annoying. Was not difficult, luckily, because he didn't have a heck of a lot of life. He wasn't like Thanos difficult, but man, he was annoying. He was annoying to take down as well. I don't like fighting stun immune nodes, anytime, really. So, but his saving grace is that the last month I didn't spend a heck of a lot of units, and I finished a little bit early. I just didn't. I couldn't find time to record and publish, especially with all the overheating issues at the start of the month. I could not manage to get you guys a good recording. Every time I recorded, it kind of like just overheated and my game died and crashed halfway through, like as I was getting to the boss, or like 3/4 through the run. And when the game would die, my phone would restart, and when my phone would restart, all my video recording and playback would get thrashed with it as well. So I got quite pissed a few times, because I thought I was almost there. I was almost at the boss. I was almost finishing him, doing the recording. I was like, yeah, cool, I've done Act 2, Chapter 1, or Act 2, Chapter 2, and and then my phone would crash and I'd lose the recording, so I just couldn't be bothered. And of course, it's only been recently fixed, right? A couple of weeks ago. So yeah, those who have the iPhones and have experienced it can know how frustrating it is. And plus being a busy month, I just haven't been able to record. So, but I'll amalgamate what I've done last month and put it up in case you're interested in having a bit of a squiz. So the boss is Kingpin, and I hate Kingpin. Luckily, he's not a super high PI Kingpin. Hopefully his nodes are not annoying. Now, since we've last talked, actually first, let's have a look at the node. But since we've last talked, I've figured out a little bit more about Kingpin. You know how I used to say he's really annoying and he just gets into this rage and overpower, and I don't know how that works? Well, I think I kind of do know how it works now. I'm going to explain it in just a moment. Just hold with me. Let me check out this guy's notes and see if there's anything that we really need to look after. Iceman should be good for him. Debuffs last 100% longer. Buffs last 100. Science. So you have brute force degen. So basically, you need to keep landing hits. He is aggressive. He's always aggressive. Heavy attacks can't trigger a passive evade. Cool. Passive evade. Cool. And well, nothing really major there. Maybe just a degen. 57,000 life. So not too long. Not too much. So yeah, not too bad. A first boss. Now, yeah, let's go back to how he works. So how he works is basically every time you put a debuff on this guy, he'll shrug it off and gain the rage charge, right? Every time you put a debuff. So if you're coming in with a bleeder, you're coming in with Archangel, you're thinking, oh yeah, I've got the skill advantage. He's gonna just shrug it off and gain a rage. And once he gets enough rage, he goes into overpower, and then his stuff becomes unblockable, and he comes at you, and he becomes really annoying. Now, he's always really annoying as is. I found the best way around him is to just keep evading that SP1 because it's fairly easy. It doesn't actually hit you. He goes for the home run, misses, and you can get in there and hit it. The SP2 you can evade it, but I'm a bit hit and miss with it. It's like a laser, and if you don't time it right, you get smashed. But yeah, let's see if I can't finish him with... Well, I can't finish him with Iceman. But, down to 35%. Not a bad effort. I've got a full team as well, so not really too sad about that. I'm not going to cry about that. So we'll just miss his fat belly. Get in there, give him a heavy, give him that uppercut. And keep going. There we go. He shrugs off the bleed, gains a rage charge. I was trying to get that off, but he already converted it. Another rage charge, Ultron may not be the best choice here, guys. I would not recommend Ultron. Probably or Blade. He's got overpower there, but I've got him stunned, so hopefully I could just corner him and finish him before he comes out. There we go. Sorted. Someone who'd be good would be like Stark or Star-Lord or Angela, like heavy hitters that don't rely on debuffs. So yeah, man, that's it. That's Act 1, Chapter 1. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. If this helped you, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, watch the other videos on the channel, whatever floats your boat. We try to keep it entertaining, we try to keep it useful and educational, and we will be back, ladies and gents, with the next map as soon as I restore my energy. All right. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Kakiteano.